This is Shelley Kraft. We are coming to you live on SNN Live, and we are live at the Cambridge House Resource Conference 2012 here in Vancouver, BC. I have Chris Berry next to me, House Mountain Partners, LLC, a featured speaker, a raconteur. He manages panels. Don't ask. Here he is, research report writer. Welcome back to SNN Live.
Thank you, Shelley, for that very kind and overly generous introduction.
It's not so generous, let me tell you. You're a very important guy. You know, they saved the best for last. You ran a major full room on a subject that I'm not even that familiar with. So what was your role at this conference?
Well, I actually had a couple of different roles. Cambridge House, obviously there's the show, and I had two specific speaking slots. I spoke about the interplay between innovation and battery metals, or those metals used in energy like lithium and vanadium and graphite, which is very hot right now. And I also had a keynote speech on faltering brick demand and what that means, and what the other countries out there that, or are there countries I should say, that might be able to pick up the slack if countries like China or Russia falter in their demand, and really went from there. And then thirdly, today there was a special separate sort of event here, a battery metals symposium, which I emceed, and we featured a lot of the companies that are on the verge of producing battery metals, and some of the innovations that are going to happen in that space in the future.
Well, certainly everyone who attended that certainly got a charge out of what you had to say.
Oh, wow. You have your way with words, young man.
There you go. So tell me what you thought of this conference.
Well, as usual, you know, this is typically the first conference of the year, and there's just a tremendous buzz here, and there always is. It's no secret that the last 6 months of the year in the junior space, the last 6 months of last year, were particularly harsh on share prices and valuations, and a lot of the companies at this show are trading at levels they were last seen at in 2008. So that, to me...
Not only that, but, you know, there's been takeovers.
Absolutely.
At lower prices than
Yep.
shareholders mostly have invested, I hate to say.
That's correct. And even this morning was a perfect example with Pan American Silver and Minefinders. And that's another theme that I saw coming out of this conference. You're going to see a lot more M&A activity.
It's increasing left and right.
It absolutely is, because of these juniors are so beaten up and they're just so cheap. And if you're a producer, it's all about replacing ounces, whether or not it's gold or silver or any of the industrial metals. So I know for a fact a lot of these senior producers are on the prowl, and so they should be.
You know, those juniors just got to hold in there. They just got to hold strong if they can, and hopefully they have $10 million in the bank.
Yeah. The name of the game is obviously being well financed and, you know, surviving the tough times like we saw over the last 6 months, for sure.
So what do you think 2012 has in store for these juniors?
I think you'll see a lot of volatility. I think, in a way, you'll see continuations of what we've seen over the last 6 months. But, you know, these stocks are too cheap to be trading where they are right now, and I still see a lot of demand for metals like copper out there, and some of the industrial metals as well. Like I mentioned, graphite seems to be very hot and picking up. So, and of course, gold and silver, the bull market is intact for both of those precious metals, as far as I'm concerned. Once, you know, governments, whether or not it's in Europe or in the United States, stop printing money, then I'll stop buying gold. But until then...
All right, let's get that website out there.
Okay, a couple of different websites. My personal website is house-mountain.com, and I write a newsletter with my father, Dr. Michael Berry. It's called Morning Notes by Dr. Michael Berry. You can subscribe to that for free at www.discoveryinvesting.com.
It's a mouthful, but we got it in. Thanks for coming on to SNN.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Absolutely.